Good morning, everyone. I'm Bill Essayli, lead the office here at the U.S. Attorney's Office. Last year, President Trump directed the federal government to pursue the total elimination of cartels and transnational criminal organizations. As the president made clear, these organizations cause enormous harms to our country, our communities, and they include activities such as trafficking deadly fentanyl into our neighborhoods. Following the president's direction, Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a memo implementing the president's order to mobilize federal law enforcement to prioritize the dismantling of these transnational groups. They also sent us a directive to get rid of open-air drug markets. So today we're here to talk about an operation that does just that. Operation Dead Horse. Today my office is unsealing 7 indictments, charging 14 defendants with racketeering and drug trafficking offenses stemming from their membership in one of the largest and most violent gangs in the Western Hemisphere, the 18th Street Gang. Law enforcement executed 12 search warrants on various locations across our district. We've arrested 12 defendants on federal charges. 6 remain as fugitives of justice. They will be found and they will be arrested. The 18th Street Gang is a transnational criminal organization that controls the rampant drug trafficking in multiple areas of Los Angeles, including MacArthur Park, parts of Hollywood, downtown, and the San Fernando Valley. The gang has over 100,000 members across the United States and also has a stronghold in Central and South America, including El Salvador and Honduras. And just so you guys have an understanding of the layout of the park, different gangs own different parts of the park. Own as in they attempt to control. Here, this particular gang, the 18th Street Gang, they try to control the northern part of the park. So everything above Wilshire Boulevard is claimed by the 18th Street Gang, or at least was claimed until we've arrested them today. 7 of the defendants, actually before I get into the specific defendants and the charges, I want you to see what we're doing here. This is the state of MacArthur Park area. This is what it looks like right now. It is rampant, open-air drug dealing, drug trafficking, violence, and you have a lot of transients, homeless, and drug users who go there to buy and use drugs. And this is the condition of this area of Los Angeles. And you can see people in these photos who appear to be under the influence of fentanyl and other drugs. They're hanging over, they're passed out. This is a daily occurrence over at MacArthur Park. So that's what this investigation is about. It's trying to clean up these neighborhoods so hardworking, law-abiding families and people of Los Angeles can enjoy their communities free from the scourge of this violence and drug use. The 7 defendants, including the top brass of the gang, are charged with racketeering and RICO conspiracy. The defendants include Kiko Gonzalez, aka Moms, the second in command of the gang and the street boss of the entire organization. As alleged in the indictment, here I'll put their faces back up so you can track. As alleged in the indictment, Gonzalez is married to an incarcerated Mexican mafia member who continues to exert control over the gang from inside the California State Prison system. The indictment also charges Gonzalez and 2 other 18th Street associates with conspiring to murder the murder of a rival drug trafficker. As outlined in the indictment, at Gonzalez's direction, defendants George Carrillo and Carlos Beltran murdered the victim in July of 2022 by shooting her in the head. The indictment also charges Edward Escalante, Edward Alvarenga, and Felipe de Los Angeles with conspiring with Gonzalez to extort other drug traffickers and businesses in the 18th Street controlled territory, again, which includes the area of MacArthur Park. My office has also charged the gang's 3 largest suppliers of drugs. These traffickers have directly contributed to the scourge of drugs in areas like MacArthur Park and other areas of Los Angeles. These indictments are a significant step in cleaning up the park. We're far from done. We're going to keep working not only in this part of LA, but other parts of LA to clean up violent crime and drug trafficking. What we hope is that by unsealing these cases today and showing you what we've done, you guys will see that this is a priority, not only of the Department of Justice, but also of our agency partners and of the local police as well, which you're going to hear from today. I really do want to thank the partnership. We all, could do aspects of this case on our own, but in order to tackle an organization this large and complex, it takes multi-agencies working together hand in hand. And so here, I really want to thank the partners, and just so you guys understand who's involved. You have the FBI, obviously the Department of Justice, my office. You have the DEA, you have HSI, you have IRS, you have the U.S. Marshals Service, you have LAPD, and the LASD. So those are all the various partners involved. We thank each and every one of them. And we worked hand in hand in this, and we will continue to work hand in hand for the betterment of the community here in Los Angeles and the United States of America. So I'll turn it over now to Robert Molvar, who's the Acting Assistant Director in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Field Office. Bob.
Good morning. My name is Robert Molvar, the Special Agent in charge of the Criminal Division of the Los Angeles Field Office, FBI's office. I'd like to begin by thanking you for being here today. I'd also like to thank our federal and local partners joining us, with whom we could not accomplish these successful large-scale operations. As the First Assistant mentioned, I'd like to thank the Los Angeles Police Department, Homeland Security Investigations, the IRS, the U.S. Marshals Service, the DEA, and the United States Attorney's Office. This case was initiated in January 2023 to disrupt and dismantle the leadership of the 18th Street criminal gang. Our federal partners worked hand in hand with the LAPD, who provided invaluable intelligence to recruit sources within the criminal enterprise to target the gang's drug distribution network. Evidence was collected highlighting the free flow of narcotics between distributors in the areas of MacArthur Park and Skid Row. These drugs were being taxed through extortion payments known as rent by high-ranking members of the gang for continued permission to operate in their territory. Historically, 18th Street was a Mexican-American street gang that originated in the 1960s and was founded in an area spanning downtown to the west side of Los Angeles. MacArthur Park, at one time a mecca for community recreation, became a hotbed for crime and drug trafficking as two rival gangs exerted control over each side of the park. 18th Street over the north half, as the First Assistant mentioned, and MS-13 over the south half. Under 18th Street control, MacArthur Park serves as an open-air marketplace for drug trafficking by 18th Streeters, many of whom operate within tents to conceal the nature of their drug trafficking and to avoid law enforcement detection. 18th Street also controls a substantial portion of the drug trafficking activities in the Skid Row area of downtown Los Angeles. 18th Street is controlled by members and associates of the Mexican Mafia. The Mexican Mafia controls much of drug distribution and other criminal activities within California state prisons, local county jails, and some federal prisons. Members of the Mexican Mafia came from the ranks of local street gangs, including 18th Street. In return for allowing local street gangs to maintain control over their respective territories, and for protecting the gang's members and associates during periods of incarceration, the Mexican Mafia requires gangs to collect and pay taxes on all drug trafficking and other illicit and illegal conduct occurring in those territories. 18th Street, to instill fear in the community and protect its territory, employs intimidation, including witness intimidation, and acts of violence, including murder, assault, robbery, and extortion. The arrests occurred throughout Los Angeles, and I'll give you some stats that refer to the slide here. During operations over the past 3 days, we've seized 6 firearms, 10 pounds of fentanyl, 5 pounds of methamphetamine, and $80,000 in gang proceeds. As the First Assistant mentioned, we have 8 defendants currently in custody. There are 6 fugitives at large. We're actively looking for 4 of them right now who are in our AOR. The photos being made public, and anyone any information as to their whereabouts is urged to contact the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. The distribution of illegal narcotics in our communities is unacceptable, as is the associated violent crime that often affects innocent residents. This case should send a clear message to 18th Street gang members and their Mexican Mafia overlords that we're going to continue to join our law enforcement partners to target dangerous street gangs who terrorize our neighborhoods in an effort to further their criminal enterprise. This illicit conduct will not be tolerated in LA neighborhoods. The FBI and our partners will work tirelessly until gangs like 18th Street have been eradicated. Thank you. Now I'll turn it over to LAPD Police Chief Jim McDonnell.
Thank you very much, and good morning, and thank you all for joining us here today. Today's announcement reflects the strength and resolve of our federal and local partnership. Together with the United States Attorney's Office, the FBI, and our federal task force partners, we're announcing significant arrests and federal indictments targeting the leadership and criminal operations of the 18th Street Gang. 18th Street is an entrenched criminal street gang that originated here in the city of Los Angeles with operations that stretch well beyond the city's boundaries and have become a transnational criminal organization. The gang's influence extends across multiple cliques and neighborhoods, and several of its members are validated associates of the Mexican Mafia. Since January of 2023, the LAPD's Gang and Narcotics Division, working with the FBI Gang Task Force, conducted a comprehensive investigation into the gang's leadership and narcotics distribution network centered in MacArthur Park area. Through this investigation, investigators identified Mexican Mafia member Jorge Gonzalez, known as Güero Caballo, as the individual in charge of the 18th Street Gang and directing its operations. Gonzalez used his wife Kiko Gonzalez as an intermediary to communicate orders and to enforce control over local street gang members. It is Kiko that functioned as the de facto leader of the 18th Street Gang. Using a range of traditional and cutting-edge investigative techniques, the task force discovered a criminal enterprise involved in large-scale narcotics trafficking, with the distribution network being centered in the MacArthur Park area. But the 18th Street criminal enterprise did not stop there, as the investigation uncovered acts of extortion and violence on community members to ensure mandates of 18th Street were followed, in addition to a host of illegal gambling establishments. To date, investigators have seized more than 10 pounds of fentanyl, approximately 200 pounds of methamphetamine, and numerous firearms connected to this network. This investigation also intersected with a homicide case led by LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division. Detectives determined that the murder of a drug dealer was carried out on the orders of 18th Street leadership as part of an extortion scheme. That level of violence underscores exactly why this work is so critical. As a result of this joint effort, federal prosecutors have secured indictments against 15 individuals. 5 are charged under RICO, 2 under RICO Vicar, and 8 with federal narcotics offenses. 3 additional targets are already in custody on unrelated charges. I want the people of Los Angeles to understand what occurred over the past 3 days was years in the making. Countless hours of preparation by LAPD's Gang and Narcotics Division, the Rampart Gang Impact Team, and Robbery Homicide Division, combined with our federal partners, the FBI, Homeland Security Investigation, and the DEA's HIDA program. I say that not because we're looking for thanks. I say it because it's critical in the current climate that you see the work that we are sworn to do. The commitment that your LAPD and federal agents bring to protecting this city every single day. Our collective work has disrupted the flow of deadly narcotics into our communities, which will save lives. In closing, I want to add my appreciation to our media partners for showing up today and sharing this important message with the public. Rest assured, we understand the battle against the predators in this city will continue, and we're prepared to fight every single day to the best of our abilities and within the confines of the law to keep all Angelenos safe. If you prey on our community, we're coming for you. We will arrest you and hold you accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And under the federal system, you will serve prison time, and you'll do about 80%, unlike in the state. So I want to show you what we're up against and what we seized over the operation of the last 3 days. Now, the reason this is so important is we could go and arrest people there for drug using or cite them, but there'll just be another group of people that will return and replace them. So we need to get to the source of the problem, and that is the gangs, the organized drug dealers and traffickers who are trafficking the drugs into the area, dispensing them to dealers, and selling them out in the MacArthur Park area. So you can see the people we arrested today had significant amounts of drugs. They had cash, they had guns, they had fentanyl, and you can see some of the photos here from some of the locations that we targeted during this operation. There's one of the firearms that was seized from one of the locations. You can see here, this is suspected fentanyl that they had on them. And by the way, that little amount there is enough to kill, what DEA say?
50,000 people seized.
But the amount seized over, and just in this operation, you could kill 50,000 individuals. So we're talking about a lot of drugs. Some more fentanyl and heroin. You can see there Xanax, meth. They're selling everything there at MacArthur Park. It's basically a illicit pharmacy. And there you could see about $80,000 in cold hard cash from one of the individuals there. So we're talking about a lot of drugs, a lot of money, a lot of weapons, and today we made a huge dent in the operation and network of 18th Street Gang. So with that, we're happy to take any questions from the media if you guys have any questions about this operation. Yes, ma'am.
Did you say the surveillance had been going on since 2023, or this operation started in 2023?
Yeah, do you want to, let's talk about the genesis of the operation.
Good morning, I'm Captain Ahmad Zarakani, Commanding Officer of LAPD Gang and Narcotics Division. Excuse me. Yes, this investigation started in January of 2023, and we received information regarding violent crime at the location. We identified suspects that were connected to 18th Street Gang, and subsequent to that, a homicide occurred that again we connected it to 18th Street. So it developed, the case got bigger and bigger. So we had, initially the operation was supposed to come to a conclusion some time ago, but due to amount of information received on suspects and follow-ups and the connections that these individuals had with the drug cartels in Mexico, so we decided to expand the operation and try to get all the suspects involved.
How would you characterize these guys? Line soldiers, street dealers, shot callers? What level?
Today, the people we're arresting are the organizers, they're the leaders. You got the highest levels of the 18th Street Gang, and we also have some of the people that were actually dealing the drugs and supplying the drugs. Not only MacArthur Park, like we said, but they're also supplying the drugs to Skid Row. They're supplying drugs to Hollywood, all parts of LA. So today we went for the leadership of this organization. And what the captain just went over is, that's good, solid police work. You may be investigating a case and you think you just have a murder or a drug trafficker, but what they did is they followed the evidence and they saw that this was actually going to lead to the highest levels of the gang. So they worked with the FBI, they worked with my office to indict this and take out the leadership, as opposed to just removing one dealer or another.
Does this leadership include people at CDCR or BOP?
The individuals we've arrested today are people who are not currently in custody.
I know, but are you going into CDCR, BOP, tracking the street people to those who are actually giving the orders, the guys who are in there who are doing way too much time but aren't on the street?
So part of this investigation does discuss how the shots, the leaders, are housed currently in California State Prison, and that is part of the investigation, is tracking their orders, their movement. But the key thing is they need people at the outside to do their work, their dirty work, and those are the people that we went after today. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
You said 6 people are still on the loose fugitives. Can
Yes.
you give us more information about them?
Do we have more information on who the fugitives are? Or where?
4 of the fugitives in our AOR. 4
Yes.
of the fugitives in our AOR, 1 of and then the other 2 are abroad. Like out of the country.
Yeah, so,
Guatemala,
yeah,
Mexico.
so 4 of them are here within the Los Angeles field office area, and 2 are in Mexico. 2 are in Mexico. Other questions?
Do all of these people have prior records or prior convictions?
A lot of them have significant criminal history, yes. And they're looking at, these are very serious charges, up to even life in prison. So they're looking at very serious charges in this investigation. Yes, sir.
Is Jorge Gonzalez going to be charged in this? Are there going to be any further restrictions on like communications inside?
Is he part of the indictment? Is he? He's not part of this indictment, and obviously we can't comment about any potential or pending charges. Any other questions?
Any
Okay.
indication on which cartel might have been supplying this stuff directly? Is there a particular unit?
They work with, is this Yeah, they work with the Sinaloa cartel.
Exclusively, or?
I believe so, yeah, they work with the Sinaloa cartel. All right, anything else? Yes? Good, okay.